Hello and welcome to another poetry reading by yours truly. I will be reading, as you know, and the universe said, Hold My Beer, which is my 10th poetry book that I published. Came out in August of last year. The title for the book is something I wanted to do because just looking at how many times sometimes if the universe said, "Oh, you didn't think that's going to work out that way? Oh, well, here's hold my beer here." So we're going to go with this one called Bends Across the Sky. The fury of a storm being caught up in the orchestra of lightning as it bends across the sky. Cloud to cloud as boats roll like waves on upside down on the ocean of gray, turning like the sea between strikes. And that's basically a long time ago. I remember seeing a thunderstorm, and it came in. It was a Del Retro, is basically what they called it. And I was on my way home, and but it was really interesting watching the lightning after the storm because the storm, you will see it lightning off in the distance, and then it will be cloud to cloud, and it will roll like a wave, and you will see it going from one end to the other part, from one sky to the next. It just like it started in the east and it went west or something, but it was definitely something that's very memorable, and I've seen it a few times since then. So I really wanted to write something about that, in a poem because it is so cool to see something like that. Plot twist is going. Sometimes you feel like you're in a movie, only you can't listen to the change in the music to know when the plot twist is going to happen. There's usually a warning here and there. Sometimes it's so subtle that it goes unnoticed until the problem is staring at you in the face. Every angry monster is like this in life as the musical score changes and you find yourself treading water just to keep from drowning. And it's just like, if you think about how life is, and it's just like if it came with like a musical interlude or something, or what would some people's theme song would be, when things are about to happen. But you're always wondering if there's like a plot twist happening, and you hear the change in the music to know that something's going to happen. It's like you're talking to somebody, and all of a sudden the music score goes from one thing to another. So you're sitting there like, what are you doing? Because you're like wondering what's going on, kind of thing. And it's just like so many different things. That's why I wrote this poem about that. The side of dreams. Holding on to you, is like holding on to the cosmos and feeling every little thing as it passes from one side of the universe to the other side of dreams. There are days when I can see tiny streaks of stars as they fall from heavens, creating something beautiful. Every time I look into your eyes, you're the type of person who loves quiet mornings as you watch the sunrise, curled up in a swing with a cup of coffee in your hands. Dark green eyes peer out beneath the disheveled locks of her strands, and the universe smiles, while sipping the Milky Way of flavor swirling in her cup. A touch of cinnamon, nutmeg, or honey, one leg crossed over the other, as another dangles, slowly rocking herself. Her bathrobe clings to her after her shower. This is her time to reflect on things, making plans of relaxing in the calm of a day. These were the moments I enjoy as a poet, watching my muse, as watching my muse. I trace her silhouette on the pages of an ink-stained canvas as a mortal. I'm spellbound by the beauty of a goddess before me and how she is more human than I'll ever be. And this has several elements in it that I wanted to, that I wrote because I think about the beauty of a sunrise or a sunset, and how, watching those things with the, usually if it's a cloudless day or there's clouds there, and you see how the different colors and are painted as the sun rises in the different glow of things, from reds to golds to oranges, and different colors like that. But I was also thinking about her, and her is the person that this muse I have, that I just basically created in my head from a person that existed a long time ago in my life, and dreaming about this moment of looking in her, just seeing the person who enjoys her mornings while sipping a cup of coffee while playing on a swing and walking back and forth and watching the sunrise. Just thinking about how she's going to reflect about her day, and but seeing the sensual side of her is like, her bathrobe clings to her after her shower. For me, as being a poet, because whatever a woman I find, she will always be my muse to continue to create and write something beautiful about her. So this next one's called Greed Stained. Cold and uncertain, uncentered concrete lines rise from the ruins of beautiful spaces, leaving greed-stained vertical horizons. Tiny hands and love lines tied our heartstrings together with knots as they gasp for love. Now, these are supposed to be two separate poems, and so I don't really think I named the other one. But when I'm talking about greed-stained vertical horizons, I'm talking about buildings. And these high rises. If you go downtown in Nashville and you see the skylines constantly changing, because there's basically um, more and more buildings being put up. Some of them are apartments, some of them are condos, some are office spaces, some are different things. But it's the fact that that greed is what's there with those stained buildings, and because $9,000 for an apartment, come on, $12,000 on up to $9,000. So it's definitely a lot of money to pay for something that, like, so most people like view. Yeah, I understand that. But when you have like a 200 apartments in a building, you only have like 15 to 20 parking passes for people to have, and there's no parking, and you park on the street, worry about your car being stolen or whatever. It's just things like that. But who am I? I live in the country. This is called Bring Out Emotions, and this will probably be the last one. I want to try and make this small enough to be able to fit on TikTok. Have you ever thought about the meaning of words, how they sound, and the reaction they bring about? When they become weapons, if words have no meaning, then why do they bring out emotions within us? Stir us all and bring about change, or break our hearts. We talk about looking at people's actions instead of their words, but if this was the case, then why do you think teachers tell us to spell a word for them? Sound it out, work it out. Give them the correct spelling, because the words you speak are spells. When you greet someone, you tell them they look fine, or the car looks great. You're blessing them with kindness, love, truth, and positive affirmations. It's the same when you twist your words to hide the cruel intentions behind them. When you speak ill of someone, you're cursing them, and you don't have to curse. And it's basically true, because you're cursing someone with your words, and so that's what they mean by that. I always thought it was like you're like system boom, you're that, but no, it's actually when you say things in anger, you're actually cursing someone. You're cursing them. You're wishing ill will on them. So that's another thing for me on the poetry thing. Hopefully, I will have us back and be doing it on Saturdays. Hopefully, this one, my sister was in town, so I was hanging out with her, enjoying her time, seeing her and her new boyfriend. So definitely check out my friends, Energetix Portraits, Aria and Alberta and Reiki Sessions. My friend Sarah Aikenhead, Bill Ron Miller, and Shara Aikenhead, and their Casting the Fire podcast. Check out my books. The links over here. Y'all have a good one. I will see you next Saturday.